I've missed you so much. It hasn't been the same without the students, has it? Oh, you're there.
Just another day in these filthy streets.
Okay, so let's talk about your projects now. So last week, I kind of went light on you because I wanted you just to start the process of understanding that you can, on your own, find out who your elected officials are. And now it's time for you to start thinking about how are you going to hold them to task. They're your employees, right? We vote for them, right? It's up to us to keep them in check, tell them what to do. We don't wait around for them to tell us what to do. We're gonna tell them what's good, all right? So I want you to kind of look at a couple of things right now, because I'm gonna show you a couple of videos in a second. And I want you to see the two different responses that are coming from left-wing politicians and right-wing politicians regarding the coronavirus, right? You're gonna see the governor of New York, Mayor Cuomo, talking about the coronavirus, and you're going to see, the president, I'm not going to say his name, but you're going to see them talking about this topic, and I want you to start to formulate an opinion on what states should be doing uniformly to address this kind of conflict, right? Because as it stands right now, the federal government has decided that it's up to individual states to decide what's going to happen with the coronavirus. So that's cool for California, right? We're keeping a pretty good number. We've got it on lockdown compared to other states. We're the most populous state, and we have relatively small numbers compared to places like New York or New Jersey or even places like Michigan and Florida, right? But here's the deal. If states like Florida and Georgia open themselves back up, that puts you at risk. That puts your abuelita at risk. Because if they're still spreading the disease around, that means we... Government wizard, I swear, if he comes back here again, I'm going to slap him. All right, so like I was saying, it's kind of up to you to be one of the people who lets your voice be heard. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to write a paragraph taking a position on what all of the states should do uniformly, right? It's going to be 4 to 7 sentences. Now, I know a lot of you are like, I could write like a sentence, I need 4. A minimum of 4, and we're going to expand on that as the weeks go on. And then I need you to think about 4 people on your list that you looked up last week of local politicians who represent you. And I want you to think, who do you think would be the best to put this message out towards, okay? So, on the Google Doc that's there for you, I want you to pick your 4 people and I want you to write your paragraph. And then we're going to build on it in the coming weeks, all right? Not that hard, all right? Good luck!
Individuals could have been infecting people before they ever felt bad. Well, we didn't know that until the last 24 hours.
Is it 100,000? Is it 200,000? Look, whatever the number is, it's going to be staggering. The number is already staggering.
Finding out that this virus is now transmitting before people see signs. So what we've been telling people from directives from the CDC for weeks now, that if you start feeling bad, stay home. Those individuals could have been infecting people before they ever felt bad. Well, we didn't know that until the last 24 hours.
We are not Louisiana, we are not New York State, we are not California, and right now is not the time to order up people to shelter in place. We've got to have our businesses operating to provide the materials that our teachers need, that our medical professionals need.
I've been talking to private businesses all across the state. I am asking them to aggressively consider work-from-home strategies. I'm asking them to aggressively consider voluntary closings.
I will sign a statewide executive proclamation later today, temporarily shutting down restaurants, bars, entertainment, and recreational facilities.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? I would like you to speak to the medical doctors to see if there's any way that you can apply light and heat to cure. And by the way, the virus, they're working hard. Looks like by April, in theory, when it gets a little warmer, it miraculously goes away. I hope that's true. You take a solid flu vaccine, you don't think that would have an impact or much of an impact on corona?
No. Probably not.
And the other thing that we've bought a tremendous amount of is the hydroxychloroquine, which I think, as you know, it's a great malaria drug. It's worked unbelievably. It's a powerful drug on malaria. I'm not a doctor.
How can the cure be worse than the illness if the illness is potential death?
I don't know if you can hear, but there are protesters outside right now honking their horns and raising signs. And they're saying that they don't have time to wait for all of this testing and they need to get back to work in order to feed their families. Their savings is running out. They don't have another week. They're not getting answers. So their point is the cure can't be worse than the illness itself.
Yeah.
What is your response to them?
The illness is death. What is worse than death?
What if somebody commits suicide because they can't pay their bills?
Yeah, but the illness is maybe my death as opposed to your death. You said, they said, the cure is worse than the illness. The illness is death. How can the cure be worse than the illness if the illness is potential death?
What if the economy failing
Worse than death?
equals death because of
it
mental illness, the
doesn't.
people stuck at home.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't equal death. Economic hardship, yes, very bad, not death. Emotional stress from being locked in a house, very bad, not death. Domestic violence on the increase, very bad, not death. And not death of someone else. It's not about me, it's about we. Get your head around the we concept. So it's not all about you. We get the economic anxiety. The question is, how do you respond to it? And do you respond to it in a way that jeopardizes public health and possibly causes more people to die? And think about it as if it was your family that might get infected, right? And that's what we're talking about. And when you think about it as your family, you have a different perspective. When I see 484 New Yorkers die, I feel that it's like people in my family. And nothing comes before the public health risk of somebody else's life. And that's where we are.
But they're also saying, if you can't afford to pay me unemployment, or your system
You
is
will
not
be
set
paid.
up,
You will be paid
but
unemployment
they can't
from the
wait
day.
for they can't wait for the money. They're out of money.
Yeah, we're talking about a couple of days lag on the unemployment insurance, and they will get the check from the date of unemployment. It does not cost them an extra penny. Now, they can say unemployment insurance isn't enough. I get it. Even with the $600 check and the $1,200 check and the unemployment insurance benefit is not enough. I understand the economic hardship. We all feel it. The question is, what do you do about it? And do you put public health at risk? And do you drive up the number of deaths for it? Because you have no idea how to reopen now.
So they're saying that, is there a fundamental right to work if the government can't get me the money when I need it? Is there a
you want to go, by the
fundamental
way,
right
you want
to
to go to work? Go take a job as an essential worker. Do it tomorrow. Right? You're working.
I am.
You're an essential worker. So go take a job as an essential worker.
But the people aren't hiring because of the
No, there are
pandemic.
people hiring. You can get a job as an essential worker. So now you can go to work and you can be an essential worker and you're not going to kill anyone.
Estimate of how many people, how many of the